there's an anointing on him. I mean, he's got a calling from God, there's no doubt. And while he was praying, the Lord very clearly spoke to me and said, that property is not about you, and it's not about your comfort. It's about people like him whose lives are going to be transformed there. And the vision that the Lord had given us was that this would be a house of prayer on the top, a prayer mountain, but that it would also be established in a way to where we could have camps, and we would bring in inner city kids for a couple weeks or a week at a time with their local pastors or people are working with local churches who can do follow-up when they go back, and just to give them a time of transformation here and get the fire started in their hearts and lives, and teach them how to help each other, keep it burning, and teach the staff of the churches. And anyway, the Lord gave me a vision on how to transform neighborhoods, starting with the children and street kids doing that. And so that was part of it. The two things were that it was going to be a house of prayer, a prayer mountain, and then we would use it for camp and a place where people could come and seek God and get alone and get quiet, because many times, you know how it is in the Philippines, there's no quiet place for you to get alone with God. But we want to look at all the space here. So we can make trails and have little prayer huts or little places where people can get away and pray, and it's in the quiet. They can call out to God with a shout to him or whatever. And so I wanted to have a place like that where even pastors, church leaders, people could come and do it. Anyway, the Lord clearly spoke and said that, quit thinking about how it's going to affect you and how are you going to function there and everything. It's like, see the vision that I have for it. And it was a clear word, and the anointing was so strong. And so I said, okay, yes, Lord, get it. We came back the next day, we purchased this property, and then our pastor friend who was helping us here said, I just learned about a house down here that's for sale, and we should look at it. So we did, and we looked at the house where we're at now. And that was another battle, because there was a big spider in the bathroom. And I'm not used to spiders that big, and I don't like spiders. But I took video of it, took it back to Suzette, and after a long time praying again, we believed that God wanted us to get that house. The courtyard kept standing in my mind. I kept seeing it filled up with people praising, worshiping God, learning about God, and it's perfect for that. And I've seen that fulfilled. And after a lot of prayer, we came back a couple months later and purchased the house. Joshua came with me on that trip. It was quite an ordeal. Also, I learned a lot of things here about Philippines and people. But the Lord gave it to us. And that's how we got here. And then, when Heidi Baker came in January 2008, it must have been, because we got here in November 2007, and we were thinking, oh, this is such a dry place. We didn't know where the river was flowing. I had met Miguel and those guys a little bit earlier and connected with them a little bit, and then they asked me about Pastor James. And then when Heidi Baker came, I really felt there was a breakthrough in the country to bring in the revival that's happening in the United States. Even though it's not a widespread thing, there's a revival happening in the prophetic movement, the